Good evening, everyone. It's Sam here with Sacred Oak Temple in Edmonton, Alberta. Today's new moon ritual on January 29th, 2025 is centered on acts of kindness. To begin with, Sacred Oak Temple respectfully acknowledges that we're located on the Treaty 6 territory. Today we connect ourselves to this place and we introduce ourselves to the goddesses and gods of the Cree, the Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, and Nakota Sioux, as well as the Métis peoples. To that river, to this sky, to the wind that blows across the plain from the mountains. I offer tobacco to the spirits of the land and ask their permission to be here and help to come to belong here. As we prepare to enter sacred space, I'd like you all to take 3 deep breaths, hold them for a second, and then release them. With the first breath, we are here in our bodies. With the second breath, we reach down to the earth and up to the sky. And with the third breath, we reach out to the others in our circle today and connect our energy to them. And now we are prepared to be in sacred space. This is a place that is not a place, in a time that is not a time, halfway between the worlds of gods and mortals. This is a place that is all places, a time that is an eternity where gods and mortals come together. This is a place that is our home, a time that is our lives, where we can be greater than we thought. Guardian of the Watchtower of the East, open the way for the power of air as we gain the power to see. Guardian of the Watchtower of the South, open the way for the power of fire as we gain the power to take a chance. Guardian of the Watchtower of the West, open the way for the power of water to let us feel what others feel. Guardian of the Watchtower of the North, open the way for the power of earth, the strength and the foundation of understanding. Blessed are we who have been brought here together. The Spirit calls us to open up our eyes and our hearts and to move us to act rightly in the world. Dear friends, with the radical new government in the United States creating tremendous economic uncertainty in their own country and around the world, cutting off grants for Medicare and food support programs, sending troops into communities to round up undocumented immigrants and forcibly deport them, imposing tariffs on the products of even their closest allies, this is a terrible time. In this period of chaos and uncertainty, we can't necessarily rely on the larger structures of society. The governments are scrambling. Some are actively hostile to people who aren't billionaires. The racists and sexists and homophobes are empowered, and we need to build community together to support each other however we can. This temple is small and online, so there isn't a lot that we can do right now, except to be kind. Small actions like giving someone who is hurting some money, or looking after their kids so they can have some time off, or visiting sick people in the hospital, being kind, listening to each other talk about our lives and our problems. It's okay to be afraid, but the fear cannot rule us. I am afraid, not so much for myself, I'm an old cis-het white man, but for gay, lesbian, and especially trans friends of mine, for poor people scrambling to feed their families, for immigrants fearing deportation, for people of color. We can stand together, we can help each other, and we can refuse to be divided against our fellows. I'd like to ask you all to reach out your hands now. Close your eyes, reach out your hands, and feel the hands of all the other people that are here in our circle, both those who are present now, those in the past, and those who will join later. Hand to hand to hand, we form a circle of protection and a community of care. Take a moment now and reach out and feel the hands of those in our circle. Feel how the energy of community flows around the circle like a living being. It's like a snake curling around a clutch of eggs, joining our circle to the currents of energy, the feng shui lines or ley lines flowing through the earth. Take a breath, breathe together. Breath in, and hold it and release it. Take another breath in. Release. As you breathe, so do I. And so do all of us here together in this circle. We are of one breath and one community. Think now of some kind thing that you can do in the next few days. Is there someone who has suffered a loss that you can comfort? Is there a volunteer opportunity that you've been considering that you can now put time toward? Even something as small as smiling at children and dogs, greeting your neighbor, talking with the cashier at the grocery store. Community is built from a million small gestures and acts of solidarity. It's not only the giant things. We're responsible to do what we can to minimize the damage in the current crisis. We also must look after ourselves and as many other people as we can look after, because no one else is going to do it for us. We must look after others and go past just emotional support to material support as well, because very likely things are going to get worse. So friends, I give you a challenge. How will we together make a powerful, caring, kind, spiritual community? It's time to bless and share food and drink. It's not we who bless food and drink, but they which bless us. In their nature, they nourish our bodies, and in sharing food and drink, we create community. As we share food and drink together, we assume an obligation to each other and an obligation to the larger communities in which we live, an obligation to act, to help other people out, to express love, to be open to being loved. No act of kindness is too small to make a difference. And so it was in ancient times, and so it is today, and so it must be as we go into the future. May you never thirst. And may you never hunger. Share food and drink with me and with whoever is in your circle at home. And of course, offer food and drink to the gods. May the gods who shared with us in our meal and celebration bless us. May those who shared the world of the Spirit with us, who taught us and nourished us, be blessed. And we receive the blessings of the Spirit. This earth is our home. We belong here together. We care for each other. Close the door of the north now with thanks to the earth. Blessed be. The moon lights our way now as this celebration comes to an end, but the warmth of love continues. We close the door of the west with thanks to the water. Blessed be. Strength and courage comes from each other. In unity is strength. We close the door of the south with thanks to the fire. Blessed be. And we end this circle with the breath of life, which is the first great blessing. We close the door of the east with thanks to the air. Blessed be. We will go on together. We will support each other. We will build a community. Before we leave sacred space, I'd like you all to take a breath, hold it, and now release it. And again. As the sun rises in the morning and the world is covered in light, so that we may see where we are and where we are going, in the same way, the heart, the mind, and the soul, they open up. And we reach for the light of understanding, and we connect to the infinite, which we find in each other. Another deep breath. Release, and again. Now this circle is open, but unbroken. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. Well, dear friends, the next full moon rite will be on the 12th of February at 7 p.m. I'll see you then.